How do you know? How can you tell whether or not you're just struggling or addicted? We've provided an excellent assessment tool. It's called the Sexual Addiction Screening Test. And what I'd like you to do, this is going to take a little bit of a risk. It's going to take a little bit of deep searching. But what I want you to do is either grab a pen and paper, something handy that you got right by you, or just with your fingers. I want you to keep track as we go through these 25 questions as part of the Sexual Addiction Screening Test. And I want you to keep track of your score. I want you to keep track of the number of times you answer yes to one of these questions. And here are the questions. Question number 1. Were you sexually abused as a child or adolescent? Yes or no? Just keep track. Either jot it down as a mark on a paper or just keep track on your fingers. Number 2, do you regularly purchase romance novels or sexually explicit magazines? Yes or no? Number 3, have you stayed in romantic relationships after they become emotionally or physically abusive? Yes or no? Number 4, do you often find yourself preoccupied with sexual thoughts or romantic daydreams? Question 5, do you feel that your sexual behavior is not normal? Question 6, does your spouse or significant other ever worry or complain about your sexual behavior? Question 7, do you have trouble stopping your sexual behavior when you know it is inappropriate? Question 8, do you ever feel bad about your sexual behavior? Question 9, has your sexual behavior ever created problems for you and your family? Question 10, have you ever sought help for sexual behavior you did not like? Question 11, have you ever worried about people finding out about your sexual activities? Question 12, has anyone been hurt emotionally because of your sexual behavior? Question 13, have you ever participated in sexual activity in exchange for money or gifts? Question 14, do you have times when you act out sexually followed by periods of celibacy, no sex at all? Question 15, have you made efforts to quit a type of sexual activity and failed? Question 16, do you hide some of your sexual behavior from others? Question 17, do you find yourself having multiple romantic relationships at the same time? Question 18, have you ever felt degraded by your sexual behavior? Question 19, has sex or romantic fantasies been a way for you to escape your problems? Question 20, when you have sex, do you feel depressed afterwards? Question 21, do you regularly engage in sadomasochistic behavior? Question 22, has your sexual activity interfered with your family life? Question 23, have you been sexual with minors? Question 24, do you feel controlled by your sexual desire or fantasies of romance? Question 25, do you ever think your sexual desire is stronger than you are? Tally up the number of times you answered yes. If you had 6 or more, you really need to seek professional help. If you answered just a couple with a yes answer, get accountability. Like I did with my wife, I addressed some of the issues, the deep heart issues going on in my life. I let her know what I was thinking about as a man. I let her know about my struggles and my temptations. This tool that we provided to you, the sexual addiction screening test, is there for you. It's in your devotional, and it's an opportunity for you to be able to tell whether or not you're struggling or addicted and the level of help that you need to seek out.
At the time I was in college and high school, I was spending upwards of $250 to $300 on 1-900 numbers.
I found myself girls readily available to go on dates with. I would hunt them down, take them out, and treat them real nice, and my main goal was to have sex.
My addiction began to escalate, and this is not just a little lust problem that's over here. This is something that I feel out of control about.
I actually opened a post office box at a neighboring community to further be able to get into this thing and to hide it even more from my wife.
I would say that I was a great dad and I was doing all the right things with my kids, taking them camping and all that stuff, but yet I could go out there and cheat on my wife and possibly bring home some disease. You know, I was just absolutely torn.
I thought, okay, this is the only way I can get love, so I started basically looking at how many guys could I get to like me and how quick could I dump them. And that's when I would started a sexual addiction.